they come off of turn 4. Austin Hill gonna do it again.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Third career victory here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. He earned this in a lot of ways. They did not hand him this one.
Hey everybody, this is Joe with the Bennett Family Companies. I'm joined with Catherine Koval today. She's with RCR, and we're gonna be taking a tour.
All right, let's go.
It's like Snoopy's doghouse in here. I've only made that reference 3 times, so don't get too old.
Come on, you're good. Well, welcome to our cut shop. So this is the main area that we will have our number 3 and our number 8 full-time cut cars.
Okay.
Will be fully operated out of here in terms of tear down and building the car. We have this 4 setup plates over here.
This is the Cup area, the Cup shop.
Yes.
And the Xfinity is over here.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
So we have 2 full-time cars in the Cup Series with the 3 and the 8, and then we have 2 full-time Xfinity cars with the 2 and the 21.
Okay.
And so we actually were able to move the Xfinity shop back into the main building. It used to be across the street, but now we thankfully operate all within the same 4 walls.
Okay, that must be really nice and
It
convenient
is.
too.
It's very nice and convenient, yes,
Nice.
for everybody.
All right, here we go. The Bennett.
So this is the car that is getting ready to go to Indy right now. You guys can see it's the standard Bennett paint scheme that we have, which is really awesome. But we do have Ace Doran and I believe Bennett Truck Transport on the deck lid, which is really
That's really
awesome.
cool. Get more divisions in there.
Exactly. So it's kind of cool. Sometimes you'll be able to wrap this car out the way, and then if you have to make any changes on the deck lid, you can easily wrap that a little bit later. So
We were in the wrap shop earlier, and most of the graphics on here is from the wrap, but there are still stickers, right?
yes, that's correct. So we have some of the stickers that you will see anytime it's just added on a little bit later, you can stick it on, which is really nice if it's one of those things that's a last minute decision.
So this is a backup car.
That's correct. So this is one of the backup cars that we have for Xfinity. NASCAR implemented a new rule where we used to have 2 cars that traveled for each one of the 2 and the 21.
Okay.
So the 21 would travel with 2 cars, that we would have a backup, and we would have the primary car. We are allowed 1 backup car per our 2 and 21 teams. So this has to be used for both of the teams rather than having their own backup cars.
Wow.
So we decided at the beginning of the season, because it made most sense for the partners that we have, that we are going to wrap the entire thing in white. So you could either do white or black. And so we chose white and made the most sense.
Right.
So let's say you had to go to a backup car, we have what's called a decal kit. So the decal kit is on both the 2 and the 21 haulers. And basically, same thing we were talking about with the cars that we reference, it's stickers.
Right.
So it's all stickers that's going onto this car.
Now, you just said the word hauler. There's also a side for the haulers.
We do.
On the other side. So we have Xfinity, then there's the Cup, then there's the hauler side. And that's also where the Hawkeye is, which is a really cool system. So I guess now we can head over and check out the hauler area.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on.
All right, sweet.
So this is what we consider our hauler bay. So this is basically the home for all of our haulers whenever they come back from the racetrack and before they leave. So it's super easy for the guys to just pull right in. You can see they even have their own little designated parking spot to be able to have. So these guys will back in as soon as they are done being on the road for the weekend. And they will immediately start unloading from the racetrack that we were at previously. Wow. So this is our number 21 hauler that is full-time on the road for the 21 specifically. So like I mentioned before, it's kind of our shop on wheels. It's our home away from home at the track. So when we get to the track, the team doesn't really have any central spot that they put all their stuff in if it weren't for the haulers. So over here, you'll see all of the radios that we'll have in there. Most of the guys will wear about 2 different radios at the track for different channels. You'll have that one primary channel that the spotter, Austin Hill, and Andy Street, the crew chief, will talk on. Not many other people get on there just because you want to try and keep it as simple as possible for the drivers. The spotter is the eyes and ears of the driver, so it's very, very important for him to be able to communicate with Austin.
Right.
I always like to say it's not really a football field. You can yell across and just be like, oh, hey, Austin, do this. So the communication through radio is very key here. Right behind you is my personal favorite, especially on hot days. Took me a while to figure out the fridge and freezer were actually on the hauler, but you know, you have to keep these guys nice and fed.
Right.
And plenty of popsicles in the freezer if you're
here we go.
Yeah, it's perfect for those Nashville really hot days. If you walk on down this hauler, so you'll see this entire hallway. This is loaded all the way from the front to the back.
Okay.
So you can imagine we just have that much stuff that we'll transport week to week.
Wow.
We'll have toolboxes, coolers, whatever else that we can get on here. We actually do have more stuff that we transport through a third party, not just through us, because we just have that much. Paint boxes are one of the things that will have Champion haul for us from track to track.
We got fridge here, microwave here's a kitchen area.
Correct. Yep.
And then these look like tools.
Yes. So we have different drawers, different cabinets for different things. You'll see most of them are organized. I always joke with the hauler drivers that I need them to come to my house to be able to organize because it's so nice and neat. But you'll just see whatever they need at the track. Part of Ricky's responsibilities is kind of doing a checklist to make sure everything is on here. But obviously the crew will make sure that what they need is on here as well.
Yeah.
So we have a uniform cabinet, which we are still waiting on all the uniforms to come back from the week prior. They do get laundered every single week. But you'll see some of these are for our crew. I believe these are the pit crew uniforms. Oh yeah, you got them on the sleeves and everything. So these guys will wear a fire suit during the race. There are more than just 5 members on the team that wear fire suits, and that's because anybody who has the potential to go over pit wall and have to work on the car has to be properly protected. So of course you'll see the pit crew, the 5 crew members, they go over the wall almost every single time. But you know, some of our mechanics, our car chief, they'll have their dedicated fire suits as well. All the snacks you can imagine.
Oh my gosh.
So Ricky has this fully stocked for the guys, all set. Obviously we are a team that loves peanut butter, so we've got plenty of that on there.
Love it.
And then I'm going to show you guys where we keep the cars. So we will usually load in the backup car all the way into the back, so that will be loaded in by tomorrow, and then we'll have the primary car all the way up there.
Wow.
And there's actually enough room to store 2 cars and a lot more stuff. I think we even have a freezer up there to be able to help keep all of the bags of ice. And then you guys will see, you can come up into the lounge. So this is what our lounge looks like. It does have a few things already laid out just to get it prepped and ready and loaded tomorrow. So we even have this full area that we can put stuff into the hauler as well, which really is helpful. Especially whenever I need random stuff that I need Ricky to haul. He usually just throws it right up here and it's super easy.
Yeah.
But we have Andy Streets and a few of the engineers. We have Danny Lawrence, who is our competition director. They can have the ability to come up here, just analyze data, hang out, debrief, do whatever they need. This is a really great meeting space at the track. So we're gonna bring you guys into the Hawkeye stand room right now.
So the Hawkeye is a QC piece of equipment that is set up at the racetrack and here at the shop. It contains 8 projectors, 16 cameras. Wow. It basically will project a series of lines and dots onto the car and record the edges of those lines and dots. And then it creates a point cloud. That point cloud will then allow us to create a heat map, and that heat map gives us the ability to see the deviation or the actual dimensions of the car.
That's incredible.
So we get a cab model from NASCAR, technically from Chevrolet, that NASCAR approves, and then we get a tolerance of 150 thousandths plus or minus that we have to work with inside it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. So we will try to build obviously within those tolerances, and then we will try to maximize the areas in all the directions that are best for performance. That allows us to build the best product every time, and then it obviously also allows us to try to consistently build the same product every time.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and we are also able to take the scan from one car and overlay it on top of another car, which is how we can determine how we are building the same product each time.
Sense.
So now we're about to enter RCR Graphics. So this is RCR's in-house graphic shop. As you can see, we have plenty of furry friends around here.
Love it.
But this is basically an all in-house graphics where they can design, they can print, they can wrap. We have all the personnel to be able to do that. So we'll do it for both our race cars and for all of our haulers.
Walk us through A to Z, all the way through what it looks like from the design phase all the way until it's on the car.
Okay.
Graphic.
So it starts out with Bennett coming up with an idea and talking to our art department, and they come up with a scheme. And once the scheme is agreed upon, that's the final approval that we get. The artist sets it up to print. So basically he'll create the art, like a left side or a right side or whatever we need, and he'll set it up to print. Once it's ready to print, he gives it to me. I bring it into our print and rip software, and basically we go from there. So I bring it in as individual files, and we build it up from there as far as all the sides needed for the wrap, hood, roof, and start the printing process. We just make sure that everything looks good as it's coming out. The artist will make sure that the colors are right. And once it's done, we laminate it and we bring it over to the production table, we cut it up, and we go ahead and send it to be installed.
Wow, very cool. And so, correct me if I'm wrong, I heard these are about $20,000 for
They
the
are
printer?
roughly new, they're about $20,000.
Wow. And in terms of the material and the ink involved, is about $2,500 per wrap, I heard as well.
Yes, so each one of the cartridges actually for these inks, they run about $100 a piece.
Wow.
So we got a room full of it.
Yeah.
Because we always have to have ink on hand. But yes, after everything's said and done, it runs about $2,500.
All right, well, hey, thank you so much for your time, and this tour is really cool, seeing the whole RCR shop and seeing all the intricate pieces that go into making it run and work.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a pleasure having you guys here, and it's awesome having the Bennett be a part of the RCR family. So to be able to have that entire tour is really awesome because you guys are just a part of it, as I am myself here at RCR. So
Love that.
thank
Love
you
that.
guys.